Why is Chennai's pitch so unpredictable? How will UK's red list policy affect traveling in cricket? And will ABD come back to international cricket? Let's find out in the video. Welcome to Hat-Trick. I'm your host Sanjit, and this is CRICBITES EP-3. So let's jump right into it. The first week and a half of the IPL was a very eventful one. RCB won against Mumbai Indians and surprised most people. They restricted MI for 150 runs, which is a very big feat. Mumbai Indians' start was a very good one, but RCB bowled well in the death overs and took about 20-30 runs off of the target. In the back end of the innings, they took 4 wickets for just 1 run, which decreased the total. Even though RCB won the match, their chase was a bit edgy. They almost lost the match and couldn't finish it off until the last ball. And many games after this ended with the chasing team either throwing the game or almost losing it at the very end. For example, the game between MI and KKR was very similar. KKR were cruising at a very good pace until Nitish Rana and Shaggy Balasan absolutely threw their wickets by dancing down the track while their required rate was just 6 runs per over. So after losing these wickets, MI created pressure and KKR could not handle it. They couldn't score boundaries even with having Andre Russell and Eoin Morgan in the crease. And I think this is due to the pitch. It got very slow at the later part of the innings and it provided very well for spin. So after this game and many like this, we thought Chennai was a bowling pitch. But out of nowhere, RCB comes to Chennai to play against KKR and score 205 runs in the first innings. And this is so surprising because the previous scores in this pitch were about 150 to 160. And in the game I just talked about before this, Andre Russell, the person with the highest strike rate in the IPL, couldn't hit a single boundary, and RCB somehow scored 205 runs. Like, that's insane. Some people said it was because it's a day game, but the analysts in the pre-show said that the pitch was supposed to be slower as the sun shines more in the day. So this goes to show why people think it's hard to read the pitch in Chennai. My take on it is that because KKR started off with spin, the pitch was still hard and RCB batsmen could hit even in the later stages of the game, but in other games, the team started off with fast bowlers which roughs up the pitch and cracks it up so that the spinners get a lot of spin. But I might be wrong, and if you think I'm wrong, tell me what you think in the comments down below. So recently, it was confirmed that India was placed on the red list for traveling to or from the UK. This is due to India's rise in COVID cases. So what this means is that people will be stopped to move from India to UK and vice versa. So how does it affect cricket? Well, the IPL is happening right now, and after it, New Zealand players have to travel from India to the UK to play a 2-match test series against England. So if India still stays on the so-called red list, New Zealand players will not be able to travel from India to the UK as only UK citizens are allowed to go back. And if New Zealanders can't go to the UK, then they will not be able to play in that 2-match test series. And another thing is, the World Test Championship that's happening in Lords between India and New Zealand might also get affected because of this. So if India stays on that red list, the only way this final can happen is if this match becomes an event of national significance in the UK. I know that sounds impossible, but the ECB are already working on it, so we will have to see if these matches actually happen. After RCB's dominant performance against KKR, AB de Villiers has said to an interviewer that it would be fantastic for him to make an international comeback during the T20 World Cup that's happening between October and November of this year. ABD, as you all know, has been retired since 2018, so it will be great to see him back in South African colours. De Villiers had said that he would be communicating to the head coach of the South African team, Mark Boucher, at the end of the IPL. And as South Africa would want their best players to play in the World Cup, they would certainly need AB de Villiers. His form is on top and he is also very fit as he's playing in one of the biggest leagues in the world. So I think ABD will return to international cricket, but what do you think? Comment down below. So let's end with a recap. First, we talked about how the Chennai pitch is very hard to read. Next, we talked about the travel issues that might happen due to India's rise in COVID cases. And lastly, we talked about how AB de Villiers might end up playing for South Africa again. And this has been it from Hat-Trick. I'm your host Sanjit, signing off. Peace.